Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with his Russian counterpart moments before the official start of the recent BRICS summit in Kazan, Western Russia, where el-Sisi stressed his desire to enhance competition, a feeling shared by Vladimir Putin as the leaders agreed to strengthen ties during BRICS summit. Anyway, from that, let's go to the global economy, where it's reported that Boeing is suffering further blow as satellite explodes in space. Boeing, the world's largest aerospace company, is facing another dent in its reputation as they await the result of a vote by striking workers, and is expected to report a big loss in results for its third quarter as the orbit of a communication satellite it designed and built exploded. Details of these stories and more will come to you on Global Business. And away from that, let's jump onto the floors of our featured exchanges. We're starting up on the floors of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, where the NGX all-share index as of yesterday closed on a high, rising by 0.25% to close at 99,189.94 points. A total of 400,912,759 shares, valued at 15,715,799,111 naira 39 kobo, were traded across 9,211 deals with equity capitalization of 60 trillion 103 billion 892,029,969 naira and 89 kobo. Now let's take a look at the biggest gainers and losers of the day. I'm interested to know that the biggest gainer of the day was Access Corporation, which rose by 9.95%. Other gainers were the likes of Academy, UPDC, Cornerstone Insurance, and Verticus Gap. However, on the other hand, Royalex topped the losers list with a decline of 9.72%. Other losers were International Breweries, Livestock, Wapik, and Champion. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll take a look at activities from other selected exchanges. I'm talking about the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, Chinese Stock Exchange, of course, which comprises the Shenzhen and Shanghai exchanges. The Afia Business Morning and indeed opening bell. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Great to have you rejoin us on the Afia Business Morning, and you're watching Opening Bell. Now we're going straight to the floors of other future exchanges, starting off with the New York Stock Exchange, where it's mostly rises in index values across the board. NYSE Composite DJ is down, however, at 0.32%. The NYSE US 100 Index, the Jones Industrial Average are all down at 0.35% and 0.74% respectively. However, the S&P 500 Index is up at 0.24%. NYSE Fang TM Index is up at 0.62%. Nasdaq Composite is also up at 0.64%. Nasdaq 100 up at 0.72%. Away from that, we'll take a trip to the UK and stopping off at the London Stock Exchange, where it is all rises. In index values across board, FTSE 100 is up 0.14%, FTSE 250, FTSE 350, FTSE All Share Index all up at 0.02%, 0.16% and 0.22% respectively. Now we're taking a trip to China. The exchange of China started off with the first one, Shenzhen, where, well, the reverse is the case, is all dips. In index values across board, Shenzhen Component Index is down at 1.27%, SZSE Composite Index is down 0.91%, the Chinex Index is also down at 0.53%. Well, will that change if we go to Shanghai? Let's check it out. Shanghai, well, on the other hand, is all dips as well. And index values across board, SSE Composite Index is down 0.68%. SSE 50 Index is down 1.01%. Star 50 Index is down 0.68%. SSE 180 Index down 0.93%. SSE 380 Index down 0.68%. CSI 300 Index is also down at 1.12%. We'll go on another break. When we return, we'll be looking at commodity prices on our Consumer Price Watch in the airport market. Do well to follow this program, join in on the conversation, and of course live as well on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap on the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, do well to subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on Instagram at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. The Afia Business Morning and indeed Opening Bell will be right back after this time out. Stay tuned.
My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Akwamaka.
I am Chioma Okbala.
My name is Ifulaya Ndule, but I'm living in market speaking.
You're welcome back, and I am Ubong Kings. It's still the Afia Business Morning, and you're watching Opening Bell right here on Afia TV. And now it's time to check in on commodity prices, and we begin with precious metals. Interestingly, it's upward movement for gold today, and indeed all precious metals on the chart this morning. Gold is up at 0.69%, silver is up at 0.16%, platinum is up at 0.72%, palladium is also up at 0.37%. Away from that, let's take a look at energy. Well, it's all, mostly dips in index values across board as far as energy is concerned, with the only commodity going up there being natural gas, which is up at a huge margin of 3.42%. However, ethanol is down at 1.11%, coal is down 0.45%, oil Brent is down 0.84%, oil Bonny Light is also down 2.84%, Brass River and Kwaibo are both down with the same values of 0.05%. And moving on, let's take a look at industrial metals this morning. Industrial metals, well, I can say it's a mixture of rises and dips in index values across board, with more of dips than rises. Aluminium, however, zinc and tin are all up at 1.33% and 0.30%, as well as 0.26% respectively. However, lead is down at 1.51%, iron ore down 0.31%, copper down 1.33%, nickel down 1.77%. You are watching the Afia Business Morning. This is Opening Bell. To follow this program, join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, remember you should subscribe so you get notifications on all the business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on Instagram at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Up next, we'll be taking a look at the hikes in prices of food commodities in the airport market, as well as hikes in fuel prices. And on that note, I'll see you on Monday on the Opening Bell when the exchanges reopen for trading. The Afia Business Morning. We'll be right back with global business. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.
Introducing Obuzo.
Afia TV's early Christmas gift to businesses in Southeast Nigeria. With Obuzo, Afia TV is empowering local entrepreneurs with 1 billion naira advertising grant, helping you reach a global audience on DSTV, GoTV, and Afia Radio. For more information, visit www.afiatv.net/Obuzo or visit the SME Center in your state.
Obuzo, catalyzing economic growth in Southeast Nigeria.
My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Akwamaka.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in market speaking.
Looking to grow your business? At Afia TV, we've got just what you need. With our various on-screen advertising options like spacebags, lower third, sidebars, right in front of your audience. With our lower third, your brand messages appear during the most viewed programs on TV, allowing your audience to see your message without interrupting their TV experience. Now, if you want to go big, our spacebar is ideal because it puts your brand messages on spotlight without interrupting viewers' experience. With our sidebars, your brand messages also takes the spotlight on our screen, ensuring brand exposure. These advertising options are affordable, effective, and designed to drive results. Get started today and watch your business shoot up. For more inquiries, call the numbers on your screen.
The Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell where we see activities from our selected stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities, making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and Go TV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Thank you for rejoining me on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome to Global Business, and here we'll be taking a look at business news stories from around the continent of Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubong Kings. Here are the headlines that we are tracking at the moment. Starting off from business news stories about Africa, it was reported at the 16th BRICS Summit, Egypt and Russia strengthen ties. Moving on, Boeing suffers further blow as its satellite explodes in space. Let's see from the forward scene, Germany to produce barrels for artillery guns in the UK. We'll bring you details of these stories and more right after this time out. Stay tuned. You're watching Global Business and on the Afia Business Morning, and we will begin with business stories about Africa, where it's reported that the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met his Russian counterpart moments before the official start of the recent BRICS summit in Kazan, Western Russia, where el-Sisi stressed his desire to enhance cooperation, a feeling which is of course shared by Vladimir Putin as the leaders agreed to strengthen ties during the BRICS summit. However, Egypt, which is one of the 5 nations invited to join BRICS this year, stated that they support any efforts related to transforming the group into a platform capable of confronting the negative repercussions of international crisis, taking into account the importance of investing in the boom that the BRICS were currently witnessing. Now, quickly, let's look at this story in a little more detail. A particular paragraph stands out for me in this particular story, and that has to be the fact that, it reads that the importance of investing in the boom that the BRICS nations are currently witnessing. Now, if you take a look at the BRICS nations, starting from China at the helm of affairs, right, India also on the other hand, you will probably see an iota of truth in this particular statement, that more BRIC countries are currently experiencing some form of boom. By the way, BRICS officially added 13 new nations to alliance as partner countries, though not full members, but at least it's a step into becoming full members. The likes of Algeria, Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nigeria, underline that, Thailand, Turkey, Uganda, Uzbekistan, and Vietnam. We'll see how all of that pans out eventually. Whether or not they become full members is a story for another day. Moving on to other stories making the rounds, and this time from the world of aerospace, where it's reported that Boeing, the world's largest aerospace company, is facing another dent in its reputation as they await the results of vote by striking workers, and is expected to report a big loss in results for its third quarter as the orbit of a communication satellite it designed and built exploded. However, the satellite operator Intelsat confirmed that the total loss of the IS-33E kept in orbit to provide telecoms, broadcasting and other services to customers in Europe, Africa and parts of the Asia Pacific region. Now, understand this. Intelsat further stated that they are coordinating with the satellite manufacturer Boeing and government agencies to analyze data and observations, adding that they were undertaking a comprehensive analysis of the incident. Now, quickly, a lot of things, if you're the news for reasons, well, it should be good reasons, but here it is again, Boeing is in the news, obviously for the wrong reason yet again. First, it was, there was a story of the blowing up of the cockpit of the aeroplane of one of their Boeing aircrafts. Second was striking workers, of which right now Boeing is still waiting, or rather awaiting the results of the vote. And now they are set to report a very big loss in its third quarter results. And this incident just coming out of nowhere, that the orbit communications satellite that it designed and built has exploded. Now it is at this juncture that we want to ask critical questions. Number one, like we say in this part of the world, who them offend? Or is this the case of village people? Well, only time will tell. You're still watching Global Business on the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV. Kindly join in on the conversation, watching live as well. Right now on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel, kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do to hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when we go live, and so you get notifications also on our business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on Instagram at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Up next will be more business news stories from the rest of the world right after this timeout. Stay tuned.
My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name na Ifulaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market pikin.
Welcome back to the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV, and you are watching Global Business. Now to the rest of our stories, and still from outside Africa. It's reported that foreign debt financing by Brazilian issuers is surging again as the Brazilian entities have raised $17.6 billion in foreign debt as of September 2024, reaching a 3-year high, outpacing 2023 figures, and local companies seek to refinance existing obligations or make new investments. However, according to the Brazilian Financial and Capital Markets Association, the first 9 months of the year, companies, financial institutions, and the federal government issued a total of $17.6 billion worth of foreign bonds, compared with $15.5 billion in the full year of 2023. Meanwhile, Brazilian companies have increased their foreign borrowings in recent months, attracted by lower rates as well as a larger pool of long-term investments abroad than at home. Now, it is the last part of this paragraph last paragraph of this story that makes a lot of sense to me, okay? And let me try to paraphrase it real quickly. Okay, it's pretty much said that Brazilian companies have increased their foreign borrowings in recent months, which has been attracted by lower rates. Underline that, lower rates, right? And then second part, B part of that, is a pool of long-term investors that are coming from outside the country abroad than at home. Hold up, quickly. Two things: lower rates. Number two, larger pool of long-term investors from outside the country than from within. And it's not shocking, because just like the first story we saw earlier, where Egypt wanted to be part of BRICS, where they say that they've seen a sort of boom in the economy of BRICS nations, right? Now, Brazil is the B in BRICS, just so you know. Yeah, so you get the point now. So Brazil in itself is experiencing some form of boom as far as this economy is concerned. Hopefully Nigeria would eventually become a full member as soon as possible, because from my standpoint, the benefits outweighs the perceived detriments. Come to think of it, what's the worst that can actually happen? I mean, they have attempted to create their own kind of currency platform. Lovely. Which is based on cryptocurrency, which is blockchain, which is pretty safe, right? Now, with legislation in place, and this is moving away from the dollar. Okay, I rest my case. Moving on, other stories making the rounds, and in an attempt to end this bulletin, by the way, the German defense firm Rheinmetall is to open a factory in the UK to produce barrels for artillery guns in 2027 as part of a new defense pact recently signed, and is expected to bring jobs to the UK as the Labour government seeks to build closer ties with European allies. However, the deal will see the UK and Germany work together systematically for years to come on a range of groundbreaking defense projects and across all domains: air, land, sea, space, and cyber. Meanwhile, under the so-called Trinity House Agreement, Berlin and London are seeking to deepen European security ties, notably in the light of the war in Ukraine, as a factory whose location is yet to be decided will be used for 120 millimeter guns and 150 millimeter howitzers, as well as for the British Challenger 3 tank. Now, let's look at something. You would think this is all about war and weaponry, etc., but no, it's about business, right? In case you don't know, weapons and ammunition is a big business everywhere, especially in conflict-prone areas or war-torn regions. Now, by way of research, are you aware that the yearly turnovers of the top European defense companies range from about 0.5 billion euros, take note, to about 23 billion euros, with an average of about 3 billion euros for each of these defense companies licensed in Europe. I'm also interested to know that the average number of employees in these companies is about 38,000, with a range of 1,900 to about 154,000. Now, this is just statistics, but the average is 38,000. Now, little wonder, as at 2 days ago, the Federal Executive Council in Nigeria earmarked about $618 billion for the acquisition of fighter jets and ammunition for the Nigerian Air Force. Now, the question is, where do you think they're getting the weaponry from? Exactly, buying it in. Okay, I'll leave it there. Now, Talk Show Central reports on this particular story. Let's take a quick look.
In less than 100 days since I first visited Berlin in July and we kicked off these negotiations together, we have today signed a landmark defence agreement here at Trinity House in London, an historic deepening of the relations, the defence relations between our two countries. So first I want to thank our negotiating teams. They worked at pace and they've helped us secure a deal which forges closer cooperation between our militaries and our industries, which contains immediate actions and longer-term ambitions. But I believed then, as I know Boris, you did too, that the UK-German defence relationship was underdeveloped. The UK and Germany are currently Europe's top 2 defence spenders. We're currently Europe's top 2 supporters of Ukraine in military and economic aid. Yes, there's 40 years of great cooperation on fast jets between UK and Germany. Yes, both countries have deployed and operated together in Kosovo, in Afghanistan, and to counter IS. But the collaboration's been ad hoc. It's not been systematic. This agreement also sends a signal to our adversaries. We will deter and we will defend against any aggression together. Boris, I look forward to working closely with you in putting this agreement into action. Today really is only the start of new, deeper relations between our two nations. NATO first defence strategy looks like.
We must continue to strengthen Ukraine in its struggle to defend itself. Germany is supporting Ukraine with more than €8 billion only this year. In addition to many other measures, we have provided Sea King helicopters. In cooperation with the United Kingdom, we will now equip them with modern rockets. And we are cooperating with the UK on helping Ukraine develop its own deterrence and defence capabilities as part of what we call Capability Coalition, as John just mentioned.
Oh well, we'll follow with this story and other stories as they unfold and keep you in the loop just so you stay informed. Get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Watching live as well, kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. While you're there, do us to subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also do us the honors of following us on social media, Instagram specifically with the handle at Afia Business _. This is in a bid to make sure that you're part and parcel of our social media community. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning live on Afia TV. Coming up next will be a wrap-up, or better still, a retrospect analysis of all the conversations we've had in the past week on the segment Eastern Business Report. The Afia Business Morning will be right back. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.
My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in our market begin.
Looking to grow your business? At Afia TV, we've got just what you need. With our various on-screen advertising options like speech bags, lower third, sidebars, right in front of your audience. With our lower third, your brand messages appear during the most viewed programs on TV, allowing your audience to see your message without interrupting their TV experience. Now, if you want to go big, our speech bag is ideal because it puts your brand messages on spotlight without interrupting viewers' experience. With our sidebars, your brand messages also takes the spotlight on our screen, ensuring brand exposure. These advertising options are affordable, effective, and designed to drive results. Get started today and watch your business shoot up. For more inquiries, call the numbers on your screen.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did single. For real.
You're not a backup singer.
I'm saying
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending, and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.
There are some people you need to just tell the truth brutally. Let it hurt them. Give it hot.
Afia TV official, exclusive every weekday on Afia TV.
Time check, it's 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibe and vibes only.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. See Opening Bell, where we see activities from our select stock exchanges. See Global Business, where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
It's good to have you rejoin us on the Afia Business Morning. And this is the Eastern Business Report. And today, being Friday, we're going to be taking a look at the week in retrospect. And we're going to be focusing on developing stories and conversations that we've had in the course of the week. And without further ado, let's jump right in. On Monday, in a monologue, I took out the time to look at issues around Nigeria's seemingly incessant power grid collapse, and I also analyzed a session with the former chairman, Presidential Task Force on Power Sector. I'm talking about none other than Engineer Bex Dagogo Jack. All thanks, of course, to Arise News, who made those excerpts available to us. Let's get to see excerpts from that session on Monday.
It's not something to celebrate because some effort was put in to correct this situation, but I would say we took our eyes off the ball. Number one is we don't have enough electricity. We can't have 4,000, 5,000 megawatts for 100, 200 million people. 200 million people growing at about 2%, 2.5%. Number one is we don't have enough electricity. We can't have 4,000, 5,000 megawatts for 100, 200 million people. 200 million people growing at about 2%, 2.5% per annum needs not less than another 50,000 megawatts that is also growing at the population growth rate. Now, can you imagine 50,000 megawatts is what we need, but we are on about 5,000 megawatts, barely scratching 10%. It's very similar to a family of 15 that has only 3 cups of rice per day, and you're wondering why people have kwashiorkor, why people have malnutrition, why people are collapsing. That is the situation we are confronting. The other cause is that we don't have enough redundancy. You can't operate an electricity grid without enough redundancy at the generation as well as the transmission levels. At the generation level, by redundancy, I mean spinning reserve. You have to have the amount you export for the day, and you have to have another idle power waiting to deal with stresses on the grid that you cannot predict. At the transmission level, we have to have what we call the N+1 redundancy or N-1 contingency. These technical parameters specify that a transmission grid must have options it can fall back to when the system is stressed. We don't have any of those things. You can't run a transmission grid on one corridor serving so many people. You're just overloading the system, and any one of the equipment on that system can pack up.
All right, there you have it. That was a statement by, or rather a session with the former chairman, Presidential Task Force on Power Sector, and the person of Engineer Bex Dagogo, taking our time to share his thoughts on why the power grid keeps collapsing. A few things I took out from that session was the fact that the emphasis was necessary. The fact that we do not have enough power to go around is number one fundamental issue. And during that period of conversation, he did make reference to the fact that There were some projects that missed the former president in the person of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, because he served under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, by the way, made available some transmission projects with reference to the power grid that was supposed to provide power, generate power rather, to supply the power grid, but 2024, turned in 2014. This is 2024, none as such has been seen operational. As a matter of fact, only a fraction of what was done is being used now to generate power and distribute to the whole country. And we are not even up to the 5 mega, no, we're not even there in the first instance. But then, like you said, it's a developing story, so we'll follow up and share with you as it develops. On Tuesday, I was delighted to play hails to Engineer Charles. And he is a Southeast representative of Auto Gas in Nigeria. And this pretty much, that session I had with him was a follow-up on the CNG conversation we had last week. And we looked at the CNG initiatives and the positioning of the Southeast in all of that equation. Let's take a look at these excerpts from that session real quick.
When we talk about CNG, we're talking about the various other hydrocarbons we have around, to include the fuel, the LPG, as the natural gas, and a couple of other things. And one basic thing about it is they all need safe handling in the first place. Then when it comes about safety, CNG still remains the safest amongst the options we have now.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Now, if you take a look at the explosion we saw on the video, yeah, it happened at a Nimco fleet station.
Right.
Inside the fleet station, you could see the car turn to two. But there was one basic thing about it: there was no fire outbreak in it. There was no fire outbreak, and this is something people have not really been able to pinpoint.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
There was no fire outbreak in
That's
it.
true.
Imagine that's happening in an LPG center or a fuel station. Imagine the fire outbreak that would have blown out of it. Why is CNG more safer, a safer option for us? The CNG we see today is actually lighter than air. This CNG we're talking about is lighter than air. When we talk about fuel, when we talk about LPG, when I talk about LPG, I mean liquefied petroleum gas as a cooking gas. Now, these other hydrocarbons are heavier than air. And that's why when there's an outbreak or a leakage in LPG or fuel, you kind of see it on the floor. You kind of see a wave-like moving around. But when it comes to CNG, it's quite different, because that's what it says, lighter than air. Once there's a leakage, it disperses into thin air. So it doesn't give you that space. It doesn't give that space for light or kind of flame to fly along. It just disperses almost immediately into thin air, because it's lighter than air. And that was what happened at the filling station. At the moment they had that burst, it disappeared immediately. You use a liter of fuel. With a liter of fuel, and you're driving on a good road, it takes for like 8 kilometers. If you're driving on a good road. Now,
when you say good road, without potholes?
Without potholes,
just smooth.
Smooth. Yeah, if you like 8 kilometers. And now for CNG, it takes 0.7, not up to it's measured in SMC.
Okay.
SMC, but in this case, I could just say a kg or a liter. It doesn't take you up to 1 SMC. It takes you 0.7, and that 0.7 covers that same distance for you. And 0.7 is the equivalent of a liter. People should understand the fact that CNG is a new technology in Nigeria, per se in Africa, not globally, but in Africa, in the sense we're just embracing the CNG sector. And the circumstances at which we're embracing it, it's kind of so soon and so fast. But at the same time, we're doing our best to see what we can do within the limited time. The federal government is in partnership with other stakeholders and some of the advanced countries who are involved in manufacturing, to see how we can set up some manufacturing outlets in Nigeria that can produce it, because of the high cost of importation of these materials into the country. So with so doing, with time, we can start it will kind of lower the price of the kits and the price of conversion. And most importantly, with the onset of this CNG in Nigeria, I'm of the view that gradually, as we move on, we would have a way to develop our local content within the CNG sector, who might not be in providing those kits, but it might be in assembling.
Okay.
It might be in different factors. We have some fabricators here in Nigeria, the southeast, Abao, Onitsha, Anambra, Enugu, and every other places.
Oh well, you just heard from the horse's mouth. But few things come into mind. Number one is the fact that, from that conversation, yes, it's a lot cheaper. I mean, Mr. President was quoted as saying sometime, I think yesterday, on the front page of one of the national dailies, that Nigerians will either pay 200 naira for CNG or stay with the increased price of about 1,000 naira upwards for PMS. The choice is Nigerians. Get the point? The picture here he's painting is that there is an alternative, but the question was, as at the time, how safe, how practical is it? How many stations, CNG stations, do we have in Nigeria? How many do we even have in Enugu? But this conversation, like I just say, it's a developing conversation. So pretty much I'm going to invite him again to come share with us where we can get this thing here in Enugu. And then he also made mention of something very critical. Because during the conversation, he did say that most of these things are imported in the country. I asked a simple question. Why is it that we can't start making it that? Well, understandably so, is the fact that this is a relatively new innovation coming to the country, Nigeria and Africa generally. So his argument was it would take time for us to learn the technology, adapt the technology to our own, present reality, and make these things happen, and therefore reduce the costs of importation. Because he also made mention of the fact that import duties on the taxis and everything on any CNG, apparatus, for lack of better expression, has been waived. It does not exist. That's the truth of the matter. But then it's still a developing story, and hopefully by next week we will go and be looking at all of this. And just so you know, you could follow up with the conversation. The live feed is still there on our dedicated YouTube business channel. www.youtube.com/Afia Business. You can go there, you see the live feed yourself and watch for yourself. And while you're there, remember you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. And you can take it a notch forward by joining us on Instagram at Afia Business _. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll see what happened on Wednesday and what happened on Thursday. Stay tuned.
The Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell where we see activities from our select stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities, making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and Go TV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Yeah, welcome back to the Eastern Business Report, and we're taking a look at conversations that we had in the week. Monday we've seen that, Tuesday we have, now we're moving on to Wednesday. On Wednesday I did play host to Emmanuel Chime, a seasoned public affairs analyst, and we took out the time to look at issues around the high cost of living crisis in Enugu State specifically. Let's see some excerpts from that particular session.
A lot of factors are playing out here. But it's very easy to manage, Ubon. It's very easy to manage. You know, it's not far-fetched to understand that this particular feed, the components for production of feed, they are not there being sourced, you know, easily locally again in Nigeria. How many persons have gone to the farm this year to go and cultivate corn? How many farms are there with corns today? These are questions we should be asking ourselves. How many farms are there with soya beans today? How many farms? So when you begin to talk about, put these factors together, then you see where our problems are coming from. Does it mean that these people are not lazy, that they can't go to the farm? No, they are not lazy. But you will talk about safety first. If you go to the farm, then you discover that you're not coming back alive, and nobody cares about what happens to you. But our constitution in first instance rightly said that the basic role of the government is actually the safety of citizenry, whose interests are being entrenched that no one wants to tamper with. That the government would want to bring down those interests. And governors of Southeast, governors of Enugu State, ranging from Ugwai till the one that is sitting now, have not been able to make effect arrests on these guys. So whose interest are we protecting here? That is stopping us from holding on these guys. Peter Okoye rightly reported within the place where they live at Lekki area, he said that we are managing the road, the street road, from time to time, amending it, you know, filling the potholes and more. But at the time, they now decided, okay, why not we fix this road entirely? I mean, give it a permanent touch, knowing to it that they have the money, they can do that. The local government, the sitting local government chairman, as a then, rightly came there with his team and stopped the work. And he told them in black and white, if you do this job right now, what then are we going to be reflecting on our budget, annual budget, with which, you know, our appropriations now, with which to take out money from the local government account? He said it in clear terms, and nobody has since then up to now come to refute that. So for goodness sake, if we have such people of such mindset in our various local councils now, then we discover that to fix the road becomes still an issue. But I think the onus lies on the public now to begin to demand for accountability.
Well, you just saw that for yourself, and interestingly too, one thing I can take out from that is the fact that corruption has played a major role here. One time, a leader in Nigeria did say, if you want to stop, you can stop insecurity in Nigeria, anything in just one day. And if it does not happen, that means somebody in government is complicit. The same thing applies to corruption. Yes, indeed it does. Moving on Thursday, I played host to Emeka Odom, a seasoned journalist and public affairs analyst. We took out the time to look at issues about the Ministry of Regional Development, its relevance to businesses and the livelihood of persons in the Southeast. Let's take a look at excerpts from that session very quickly.
It's not the job of the ministry to begin to work on this area. That is why you have the commission. The commission is the agency, the organization that will have to tackle all of these issues as they are peculiar to the various regions. Now, the ministry is there to supervise, harmonize, and take their case to the cabinet level. And so, for me, it's a right step in the right direction. But having said that, it's not just about creating the ministry, changing the nomenclature, and somehow, in quote, playing to the gallery. It's not just that. We want to see real governance. When this ministry is properly established, when they complete the processes of balancing the papers and moving the personnel and changing the nomenclatures and every other thing else, we want to see real work. We want to see real supervision. The ministry must play its role, whether some appointments were significant or not. For me, I don't think so. What is significant about it? You from Anambra State, the president dropped Uju Kennedy Ohanene, right? And from Islam, who was a minister Minister of Women Affairs. That's a substantive minister. Now you are appointed from the same state, a minister of state. Now, from what we know, minister of state is a little bit, in terms of protocol, is a little bit inferior to a substantive minister.
True.
So, what is significant about that? The woman himself had held a high-standing position in the past. She was an ambassador, a former Nigerian ambassador. Is this Spain or where? But So, what is significant is she's been asked to come to the cabinet. She is qualified. She is qualified by every standard. So, that's that the widow of the late Ikemba is being given an appointment. Is it what all of us should go and walk around Lagos Lagoon and clap? If the president wants to do something that's very significant per se, let him give 2 service chiefs to the southeast. And if you go to the cabinet list now and find out, you find out the whole of southeast, that's the region with the least appointments.
Oh well, that's much I'm going to be taking. You may want to follow to see full episodes of these particular sessions are had on our dedicated YouTube channel. Can you type and search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, do hit the like button, and you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. And you can join our social media community as well on Instagram with the handle @Afia Business _. Thank you for your time. My name is Ubong Kings. Coming up next is Afia. Good morning.
Hey ladies, join us on Gyna Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did single.
For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.